ready to take on the Algerians come tomorrow, and after 2 days, they also take on Tunisia. Well, we trust the Super Eagles with the parade of players and crop of players invited. We believe they will be able to do some is concerned in Nigeria and outside the shores of Nigeria. Don't forget, this is Capital Sports from the Unity Station, NT Channel 5 Abuja. I am here welcoming you to this episode of the program, and trust us, we'll be able to look at some of the trending issues as time permits us on this program. Don't go away, sit back, relax with us while we serve you some of the highlights of the sporting activities as far as sports is concerned. Well, let's go on the show. A new gaffer to take them, and the Super Eagles who will be playing Algeria.
30 seconds. Randy Wardrum has revealed his excitement at the opportunity to work with the Super Falcons following his appointment as the head coach of Nigeria's women's national team. The 64-year-old American, who has a vast amount of coaching experience in women's football, says he knows most of the players and will try his best to take the team to greater heights. The Court of Arbitration for Sport has revealed that former Super Eagles coach Samson Siazia's appeal against his live ban by FIFA in April 20 draw by Turkey. Italy walloped Moldova 6-0. Raul Jimenez scored as Mexico ran out 1-0 winners against the Netherlands, while Portugal and Spain settled for a goalless draw. Nigeria's Victor Moses faces a uncertain future at Chelsea after being left out of their Champions League squad again. Last season, Moses spent time on loan at Fenerbahce and then Inter Milan, who had been interested in re-signing him before Monday's transfer deadline, but a deal did not materialize. There is still hope for the former Wigan Athletic man as the transfer windows in Russia and Portugal remain open until October 17 and 25 respectively, while deals can still be made between the Premier League and EFL clubs until October the 16th. Uganda's Joshua Cheptegei smashed the men's 10,000 meters world record as Ethiopia's Lentezembet Gide broke that of the women's 5,000 meters at the NN World Record Day in Valencia. 24-year-old Cheptegei clocked 26 minutes 11 seconds to beat Kenenisa Bekele's 15-year-old time by more than 6 seconds, while 22-year-old Gide clocked 14 minutes 6.62 seconds to better the 14 minutes 11.15 seconds set by Turunesh Dibaba in 2008. World number 1 Novak Djokovic overcame early physical struggles to beat Pablo Carreno Busta and reach the French Open semi-finals on Wednesday. The 33-year-old, who arrived on court with tape on his neck and repeatedly massaged his left biceps, lost the first set but went on to win 4-6, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. Victory puts him into his 10th Roland Garros semi-final, and the Serb will now face Stefano Tsitsipas in the last 4. And that'll be all on sports tidbits for this week. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you very much, Bade Adele. If you ask me, I'll tell you that I felt sugar in that tidbits. Thank you very much for the highlights. Now, I still have Ikenna Okonkwo, Secretary Swan FCT, and also a sports journalist. Now, we just watched the tidbits. Now, I think this will now guide us on some of the highlights, which I think is not different from what is happening lately in the world of sports. Now, let's begin with the Athletic Federation of says. Up to now, we've not, there seems not to be a solution in sight, because I learned the Ministry of Sports seem to be running away from a reconciliatory move to address the crisis that has led to a two-faction in the leadership. So what's the way forward? Talking
about are fighting the grass, like you mentioned, in your last comment, that the athletes, the coaches, who are the main actors, they are suffering all of this. Because instead of the gladiators to be focusing on the on how to develop the athletes from the required projected image, we are in this. I mean, it's unfortunate, like I said earlier. What I believe will solve this issue, parties involved are trying to flex muscle and the ego. The embattled, well, if you want to say, president of AFN, who just got a victory in the appeal court. I mean, also won in the High Court.
Yeah, sure.
So they're going to Supreme Court. What actually gives them the morale that they will win? Point of view?
Well, while we welcome him to settle down into business, there are also concerns raised by in some quarters that I think University of Pittsburgh has come out to say he still has a contract or engagement with them. So I don't know how they will be able to reconcile that.
I think it's an individual at that level. It's something that it's an off-pitch issue. So to say, like it's what happened on the pitch or what happened, as he was preparing to get on the pitch. But at this
need for like the country to support this man.
Yeah, how else do you support him? The issue of football is played at that level of, NFF, CAF, when by the time you know it, if the government wants to come out to say, make comment or whatever, if I would say interference. Start talking and
okay.
Saying all sorts. So it's majorly an individual affair because it didn't affect it didn't concern the team, Nigerian national team, as it was Super Eagles on 23 that he coached. It's an issue of his personal whatever. They accuse him of attempting to do stuff. So it's his personal issue. So that nobody's accused of whatever. It doesn't also dent us internationally.
Okay.
So, but however, there's need for those NFF to have to begin to...
What I want to hear, I think we are now beginning to, be on the same page. I think Siasia should not be left alone with this problem. And we hope at the end of the day, he'll be able to get justice for him to resume. Now, while we continue with some of the issues, don't forget this program is streaming live on...
It's a friendly, it's a match that the technical crew want to see what majorly the new guys will bring to play. I mean... What they have face, other things, the best in the world tomorrow, and get out something when they are competing, not at the friendly level, but they should be able to show Nigerians that is a team that can, that could stand the test of time, moving forward.
We are still building a team anyway, but we expect a good football, like you say, and
with the same coach that just renewed contract.
So that's I don't want us to argue, but we know that every day we keep inviting new players, to the team. So I wonder how you will say you have a team that tomorrow you can say go and get us that result. So we're still trying. Well, let's quickly go to the issue of Victor Moses. Victor Moses is one player we respect. This is one player that has done very well, if you ask me, for the country and also, at club level. I think the deal couldn't, go through. He's back to his parent club, Chelsea, but he's been excluded for the UEFA Champions League.
Well, it's very clear that also considering renewing his loan deal. So if that goes through, he will get back to Italy.
Okay, well, Victor Moses, we saw him last season. I think he was on loan at Inter, and he was part of the team that, played in the Europa League time. On that, an Arsenal. Is it high time he left Arsenal now?
I thought his agent or whoever that advised him would have told him that he shouldn't have stuck his guns with Arsenal and they are messing him up like this. Can you imagine when you say a whole Ozil being left out of, a 25-man squad? It's quite embarrassing. he would have.
Your coach or manager. I think he is not in good times with the manager.
It must not necessarily be that he didn't have something to offer as long as skill or whatever is concerned. But maybe the coach doesn't have him in his plans.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't.
He understood. He apologized anyway, and here he is in the semi-final, and probably, you know, he might be going to the final and clinching, you know, the title. But quickly now, we also had the story of Cheptegei and Gede also setting new, you know, world records. These people are unstoppable. Leave it to them when it comes to long distance races, and they did well.
Exactly. You know, there are some athletes that you are looking at them to probably drop guard in terms of level of performance, but they turn out doing better by the day. I mean, these lads are worth commending.
10,000 meters and 5,000 meters, respectively, I think is commendable, and we are hoping that someday Nigerians too will try, and tomorrow we'll be talking about
just a defeat. Talking about almost 70% victory.
Yes, imagine.
It's not a victory. It's not a defeat.
Considering the margin,
it's a smash.
Yeah.
It smashed them.
It was a landslide.
He flattened the Algerians. I mean, the Algerian and the other opponents. They couldn't see anywhere to stay, and you know, before the contest, he actually addressed us and was trying to look at his chances.
Yes.
But the way it was very clear that the man who was the secretary of that same body, general secretary of that same body, some years back, I mean, has got everything it takes to rule this body and then get it to where it should be.
Well, we hope his reign will bring a lot of sports and developments, and this time not talking about the country alone, but across our new assignments. Well, Mr. Ikenna Okonkwo, I must thank you for finding time to be your talking point and analysis, and we hope that we'll always find time when, you know, we come knocking, that you'll be part of Capital Sports to talk on this some of this sports development. Are you a Man U fan or a Liverpool fan?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of either of the clubs.
Okay, so
I'm just a fan of
tomorrow. We will all go out to support. Remember, anytime Green White Green is playing, we'll always be there to support you. And we believe at the end of the day, even though it is friendly, that you come out tomorrow with the result that all Nigerians will be proud of and appreciate tomorrow, and then probably when you also take on Tunisia, Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. Well, the much time, you know, permits us to give you on Capital Sports today. We appreciate you. Probably the lines didn't allow you call in, and also the station. I remain Abdullahi Ajia. Thanks for your company.